D'Anthony, what's your approach going to be into this coming off season with contract and whatnot?
My approach, I would say, just getting better at everything. Like, you know what I mean? Just coming into this year, it was just so much up in the air that we didn't know, or I didn't know that could happen. So now that I know that type of stuff, it's just about working on myself, and then whatever happens, kind of happens after that.
Do you want to come back?
Most definitely. I mean, I would love to come back. You know, I kind of leave that type of stuff up to my agent and upstairs, but I would love to.
How would you summarize this season in which you came back from the ACL injury and kind of got back in the flow of things and made a season of it?
I think this season it was a lot. You know what I mean? We had a lot to deal with. Just in terms of me being out to start the year, to me coming back, to seeing Jimmy go down, to seeing Moses go down, to seeing almost every guy at some point or another, kind of go down. So, but at the same time, I mean, I commend everybody that was out there, because that's not easy, and we battled and we fought every game. We tried our best no matter what, and that's all you can hope for when going into a season.
Do you feel like your body's back to 100%?
Yeah, for the most part. I think the bumps and bruises that come with a season, I think anybody's gonna have those, and I think those kind of crept up more so for me, which kind of led to my mental fatigue of playing this long at the same time too.
D'Anthony, do you feel like your numbers reflect who you are as a player?
Not necessarily, because I think sometimes I do kind of stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, and I also think I didn't shoot the ball as well as I wanted to this year, but I know and we know that I'm a great shooter, and so that type of stuff is you never really know, but I think I still just do stuff that doesn't really show up on the stat sheet.
You said that you'd like to be back here. You could see what a good fit you are here, both as a player and with the culture too in the locker room. But also with that, do you feel like you owe it to yourself to test the open market and just to see what else is out there for you as well, just to give yourself that opportunity?
I mean, I think that type of stuff is just is in my mind, but I think that's why also you got to give yourself time to kind of decompress and see everything that's going on, kind of let the dust settle. So I think that type of stuff is what I'm going to worry about, next week and stuff like that, and kind of, get with my agent and, let Mike and Steve and Rick decide, you know what I mean, what they have going on as well, too. So, yeah.
Steve's future is obviously uncertain right now. Just how has it been him coaching you this season, and what have you kind of learned from him coaching you?
I love Steve. I just think I love the way, he approaches the game, and also, being a player, he kind of understands what you're going through sometimes with having a season, particularly like we had. But with Steve, I just learned so much about just playing with confidence, and kind of learning the game and knowing your tendencies and playing to your strengths too.
Well, you came into this season, wasn't ready to play at the start. You had to do some rehab work, but once you got going, you got yourself up to where almost at the end of the season you were playing back-to-backs. Physically, did you ever get to the level you wanted to get to?
Physically, I would say not necessarily, just because, obviously you would love to put more minutes, but I just think when it comes to my knee or my back, you know what I mean, that held up great, but it was just kind of other stuff that kind of lingered with me that necessarily I didn't really like. But in terms of, the major things, which is, like I said, my knee and my back, I mean, that held up perfectly fine. And so that's what I can, hope for, and that's what is what I love.
And how much does it matter to you that Steph has said that he likes playing alongside you?
I mean, it means a lot. It means a lot, somebody of his caliber, of his stature, to say, things that, compliment you and compliment him as well is important, because that means you're doing something right. And, your style of play can translate to a lot of different players. And, a player like him, he's so special that, being on the court at the same time as him is surreal sometimes.
What can you share about what Steve and Mike's message was to you in your end of season review?
We made it through. We made it through. I just think everybody was just so. That's one thing I love about the organization. Like, they put your personal interests, you know what I mean, in there, and they put their personal interests sometimes first. So, like, I know we kind of ended the season shorter than we wanted to, and, we had aspirations to, play all the way to the end. But at the same time, they understood my circumstances, my situation. They were so excited for me just to be able to make it through, you know what I mean, just to finish the season healthy. And, the year I had, they felt like it was amazing. So that's all I can hope for.
Would Steve's decision affect your decision when it comes to your future in the player option?
I think that type of stuff is just, just to handle when it's there. You know what I mean? Because we never know what could happen before. We never know what could happen right after. So whenever he makes his decision, I know, he should take his time and figure it out. But I think after that, you kind of got to let the dominoes fall just to, let everybody see what's going on, whatever his decision is, and give that a little bit of time just to see where you're going next to.
You mentioned getting through this season. What was your experience working with Rick and the medical staff after a full year?
Top tier. I mean, I don't think it's nobody better out there. Like, obviously, I haven't been to every team, but just the way they handle everything, the way they, do their due diligences on you and make sure you're okay, and they put so much emphasis on every player, in every aspect that it's amazing. You know what I mean? It's definitely amazing.